The Ventspils FreePort, a center for logistics and industry. Ventspils port is located on the eastern shore of the Baltic Sea, a location where the markets of the east and the west have intersected for centuries. This has always been an important factor in involving Ventspils in global trade processes. Ventspils port has a history spanning more than 750 years. The name of the port, Portus Vinda, appeared in shipping registers and ancient maps long before the Ventspils castle, which gave its name to the town, was built. The history of the Ventspils port is enormously rich and varied. Its influence in the Hanseatic League, the world-renowned shipyard of Duke Jacob, and status as the main port of Tsarist Russia should be mentioned in this regard. Ventspils became a pan-European transit center in the early 20th century when work was completed on a railway link connecting Moscow, Rybinsk and Ventspils. The strategic importance of the port was also appreciated by the Soviet government, who opted for Ventspils as the site for building the largest oil terminal in the Baltic region. The pipeline Druzhba connected the port to the oil fields of Russia. In the 1970s, more terminals were built to handle potassium salts, ammonia and other cargoes. What ensures growth potential for the Ventspils FreePort today? Ventspils is an ice-free port. Thanks to this fact, we can provide services and ensure navigation throughout the year without any additional costs during the winter months. In 1998, we deepened our harbor, thus enhancing the competitiveness of the port even further, allowing us to optimize the cost of the entire Ventspils transport corridor. Now we can service the largest ships that can enter the Baltic Sea. Today, Ventspils is a part of the European Union core network for transport. Thus, we are linked to the European road network, including the E22 motorway, which is of European importance and takes its route from Ventspils to Moscow. The European Union has co-financed several projects at the Ventspils FreePort, which have involved significant investments in improving the access roads of the Ventspils FreePort terminals. The east-west rail corridor provides Ventspils with more than 20 million tons of cargo turnover each year, and it is one of the busiest rail links in the Baltic region. The throughput capacity of this route is 34 million tons per year. Ventspils has a small regional airport, which is equipped with the necessary technology and infrastructure to service small business aviation and air taxi flights for aircrafts with up to 40 passenger seats. Over the years, Ventspils has become Latvia's major gateway for international electronic data traffic. There are 2 independent optical submarine cables, as well as 4 major terrestrial optical lines connecting Ventspils to the main telecommunication hubs in the Northern Europe and Russia, thus providing very high-quality, high-speed internet access in the city. Today, there are 12 port terminals in Ventspils. Ventspils has always been strong in handling liquid bulk cargoes. The stock company Ventspils Nafta Terminals is partly owned by the VTTI, a global player in the operation of petroleum product terminals. The company has more than 50 years of experience in the reloading of crude oil and oil products. The state-of-the-art technologies and the largest storage system among the terminals in the Baltic Sea region ensure that the Ventspils Nafta Terminals is one of the most competitive companies in the Baltics. The stock company Ventbunkers handles oil and petroleum products. The company offers forwarding services, treatment of ballast and wastewater. The limited liability company Vent Ammoniac Service owns the infrastructure and equipment for the storage and transshipment of oil products, ammonia and other liquid chemicals. A joint venture named VARS has been established in collaboration with a local chemical company to handle acrylic nitrile. The newest liquid cargo terminal at the Ventspils FreePort is the Baltic Juice Terminal. The terminal offers services related to the reloading of fruit juice concentrates. The Ventspils FreePort has a wealth of tradition in handling dry and general cargoes. The stock company Ventspils Commercial Port has a history in cargo handling that dates back more than 100 years. Today, Ventspils Commercial Port offers clients a whole range of services related to dry and general cargoes. Deepwater piers can handle Panamax-type ships with a draught of 14.1 meters. The stock company Kalia Parks is a dedicated terminal for handling mineral fertilizers. It is one of the world's capacious terminals of its kind. A high-capacity warehouse system makes it possible to store 6 different kinds of mineral fertilizer at a time. A modern and specialized grain storage and transshipment facility, the Ventspils Grain Terminal, began its operations in 2005. It offers 12 silos with 70,000-ton storage capacity, equipment to unload motor vehicles and trains, a deepwater pier, and a state-of-the-art laboratory certified by the Grain and Feed Trade Association. Timber materials at the port are handled by the company Ventspils. It mostly handles technological chips for pulp manufacturing, roundwood, sawn logs, timber for the production of paper, firewood, and peat moss. The newest terminal at Ventspils Port is the Baltic Coal Terminal, which started its operations at the end of 2008. The terminal has a capacity of 6 million tons of coal per year, and it is the most modern and largest closed storage coal reloading terminal in the Baltic Sea region. The terminal can accommodate the largest coal carriers entering the Baltic Sea. Ventspils Port is actively working to become a strategic hub for general cargo transportation in the logistics chain, which exists between the European Union, Russia, the countries of the CIS, and Asia. The port is a home to a high-level and multifunctional cargo handling center, Nord-Nati Ventspils Terminals, which handles a wide range of general, containerized and ro-ro cargoes. The terminal has 4 deepwater quays with a depth of 14.2 meters, modern and specialized equipment, and an excellent infrastructure, open and closed warehouses, a customs and border control facility, and a site for phytosanitary inspection. There are also connections for refrigerated containers. Considerable investment has been made to establish a state-of-the-art temperature-controlled warehouse in the territory of the terminal. Thus, the company Reefer Cargo Terminal, with a cooled and frozen food product storage facility in the area of more than 12,000 square meters, is ready to service frozen and cooled product transshipment. Ventspils Port has established all the necessary infrastructure and is very well fitted for transportation of heavy and oversized cargoes. The terminal has the necessary equipment and expertise to handle even the most sophisticated projects. Over the years, Ventspils has become a significant center for ferry transport. A modern passenger terminal for ferry traffic and a cargo servicing center were opened in 2007. This ensures a new and better quality service in Ventspils. There are several ferry lines operating at the port. Stena Line runs 2 lines from Ventspils. Transport to the Swedish town of Nynäshamn is offered 5 times a week. The port is at a distance of 50 kilometers from Stockholm, which makes it possible to service central Sweden and open up the route to Norway. This is the shortest sea route between the Baltic states and Sweden, just 11 hours each way. The other route, operated by Stena Line, runs to the German port of Travemünde. The transport is offered 2 times a week with 27-hour sailing time. The development of the port is an ongoing process. At the moment, the Port Authority is expanding the port territory between the traffic and the railroad bridge, where 2 universal terminals are under construction. The further port expansion plans foresee seaward development of the port in the so-called the Northern Port project. The Northern Port is a more than 100 hectares territory adjacent to the sea, with a possible landfill extension to the north of the existing harbor. What other important things have we achieved on our way towards development? Clearly, Ventspils has attracted trustworthy partners, working with them in pursuit of a series of successful and promising projects. The industrial development zone in Ventspils is also growing dynamically. The Ventspils High Technology Park, which specializes in the development of high-tech sectors in Ventspils, offers high-quality manufacturing and office facilities, as well as business incubator support for young companies. The park also works extensively with educational and scientific institutions so as to facilitate cooperation between science and industry. Companies at the Ventspils FreePort operate under the regime of a free economic zone. Tax relief has allowed us to create a favorable investment environment, and this has helped to ensure the construction of new terminals and other enterprises. The reputable British Financial Times magazine has announced that, based on their research, the Ventspils FreePort currently is the 7th most prospective special economic zone and the 2nd best port zone in the world. It is an outstanding evaluation, placing Ventspils among such world-class leaders like Dubai and Shanghai, and in front of the other more than 700 special economic zones worldwide. Our work confirms that Ventspils brings together high-level industrial development and high-quality port services. Ventspils today is a flourishing European city. Our industrial status is supplemented by our cultural and historical heritage, with contemporary art projects, facilities for leisure and sports, as well as extensive educational resources. Vocational and professional, as well as higher educational institutions, are working to harmonize the needs and the trends of the industry with the availability of skilled people. Ventspils is a city that supports business and, moreover, a port city with lower taxes and an individual approach to each business. Ventspils is the right place for your business. Welcome to Ventspils.